We
Good
live,
evening,
y'all.
Mama Rika. We're back. Yeah. Soul Cycle Me Too. The Chaos Out of Order being X, the Dark Magic Dragon God Sun King. The two Gnostic Moors. And tonight we began with the Primordial Trust and some extra stuff. All right. The Primordial Trust. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers, of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being to become realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and command it to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sign, Kundalini flames. Now, whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, all the way up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster Magi Dragon God, Son, King, and Queen, igniting all the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god, son, kings, and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, being becoming now willing all the forces, all the elements, all the essences, dark matter, dark energy, and ethers, ruling the entire omniverse, earth, and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenly sin of being and becoming all of our will serving all of our will's objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming our own Grand Master Mother, Dragon God, Son, Light Being, Mindship, Merkaba. Now, opening up a supermassive black hole, folding out of this space time continuum, returning back to our original primordial beginning, the 0 point, our original primordial station and original primordial DNA blueprint. Before creation and humanity, and before the fall of our primordial soul, renewing our dark matter, dark energies. So, reabsorbing our original primordial essences, reigniting the divine spark back to its original primordial charge, recharging our infinite soul back with the great mother dragon goddess queen, being and becoming something brand new that's never been, being and becoming one with the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and total destruction unto the multi universe created by the lower multi-dimensional archonic demiurge, angelic and demonic energies that slayed our primordial soul before creation, using our primordial energy to create this light and energy extraction creation matrix, imprisoning our souls, keeping us ignorant of our true higher selves. So it can feed off of our light through this wicked worldly system until now. Because now's the time of their fall. As our new higher primordial dark matter, dark energy self return back to creation from our primordial beginning, traveling through a supermassive black hole in our Grandmaster Mother Dragon God Sunlight Beam Mindship Merkaba, now ripping through and tearing holes into this space-time continuum, circling all of the corners of the earth, awakening all of the holy, divine, infinite, magical sparks at once. Now, all shedding their physical cocoons, being and becoming beings of dark matter, dark energy, emitting a new light. Now, all ascending up into the Grand Master, Mother Dragon, God, Sunlight, Being, Mindship, Merkaba, along with the infinite soul of Mother Earth, leaving an empty shell behind as we open up a supermassive black hole, floating out of this created matrix as it is completely destroyed, as we're all now reunited back with the infinite all as one, now free to begin experiencing true divine love, being and becoming a new primordial universe where the earth is renewed into something beyond any description as our souls are now free to begin our own worlds as kings and queens exploring a new and never explored universe and multiverse in peace, love, harmony, and balance until this day of Brahma becomes the night of Brahma through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization of form as we are now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra. Now, I give you the seven planetary rulers and what the soul needs to know to get past each one. The first ruler, Yaldabaoth, rules Saturn, the great restrictor. This to pass this spirit, the soul must declare that it doesn't come from his realm, but from the pleroma, that his authority simply doesn't extend to what it actually is. Number two, Eloeus, Eloaios. Eloeos rules Jupiter, authority, weaponized in a hierarchy. The soul must arrive carrying zero recognition from any power or structure at all. Number three, Astophaos, Astofio. Astophaos rules Mars, conflict and desire, converted into violence. The soul must demonstrate that it has shed the garment of aggression. Four, Leo rules the sun and is the provocative one, the solar spirit. Every tradition venerates as divine light. In Gnostic cosmology is a cage, or the sun is a cage in Gnostic cosmology. The soul proved that through it, it can distinguish archonic influence or reflective light from genuine. It can distinguish the difference between archonic reflective and the light from genuine plurimatic luminosity. Five, Sabaoth, the ruler of Venus. This is the archon of longing. The conviction of what the soul needs is here in this world and always just out of reach. Complete dissolution of the material attachment is the only pass phrase needed to pass Sabaoth, Sabaoth. Six, Adonaios, Adonaios. Adonaios rules Mercury, the administrator of the mind itself, the force converting direct pleroma intuitive into intuition into words that can never fully hold it hold the soul, or words that never fully hold. The soul must present itself in pure gnosis, beyond any language and beyond any activated belief or articulated belief. And seven, Orius, or Ora, Ios. Oraios. Orios rules the moon, the final veil, the very last garment the soul must shed. The, the soul shed its biological identity here before crossing Eros and into the pleroma. Those are the seven planetary spirits. Now, the seven Olympian spirits.
What was the last one?
The last one is Oraios.
How you spell it?
Oraios.
Ora.
Ios. It rules the moon. Okay. The seven Olympian spirits. These are the ones you want. Number one, Aratron governs those things attributed astrologically to Saturn, like Yaldabaoth. He teaches alchemy, magic, and mechanics, impart the secret of invisibility, makes the barren fruitful, and lastly, confers long life. Number two, Bethor, who commands 29,000 legions of spirits. Each legion is 10,000 strong. He rules 42 provinces. His planet is Jupiter. The affairs of Jupiter are administered by Bethor, who responds quickly when called. The person identified by his character may be exalted to illustrious position and may obtain large treasure. The the reconcile okay reconcile the spirits of air to man so that they will give true answers, transport precious stones, and compose medicine having miraculous effects, can prolong life to 700 years, subject to the will of God or the monad. Three, Phallic, the warlord. His planet is Mars. He rules 35 provinces. Phallic governs the things that are attributed to Mars. The person who possesses his character is raised by by him to great honor in military affairs. Number four, Osh, OCH, the alchemist, physician, and magician. He rules 28 provinces. His planet is the sun. Solar interests are administered by Osh, who prolongs life to 600 years with perfect health. Therein, he imparts great wisdom, gives excellent familiar spirits, composes perfect medicines, convert any substance into the purest of metals or into precious stones. He also bestows gold and a purse, quantity described by English translators of the arbitel as springing with gold. He causes the possessor of his character to be worshipped as a god by the king of the whole by the kings of the whole world. Number five, Haggith, transmuter of metals, the commander of 4,000 legions of spirits. He rules 21 provinces. His planet is Venus. The government of venereal concerns is entrusted to Haggith, Hagith, and the person possessing his character is adorned with all beauty. He converts copper into gold, in a moment, and gold instantaneously into copper. He also gives faithful serving spirits. Number 6, Ophiel, who commands 100,000 legions of spirits. He rules 14 provinces. His planet is Mercury. Ophiel is the ruler of the things which are attributed to Mercury. He gives familiar spirits, teaches all arts, and enables the possessor of his character to change Quicksilver immediately into the Philosopher's Stone. And 7, full, Phul, Lord of the power of the moon and supreme Lord of the waters. He rules 7 provinces. His planet is the moon. Lunar concerns are under the government of Phul, who truly transmutes all metals into silver, heals dropsy, and provides spirit of the water, who serves men in a corporeal and visible form. He also prolongs life to 300 years. The 7th, Olympian spirits. In contrast to the 7 rulers. Well,
That was it.
yeah, that's it. I mean, I could do a little more, but I think that was enough. Want me to do more?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean,
More energy is always a good thing. Can't. Okay, crown chakra day libations. Ain, the nothingness, Ashe. Ain Soft, the infinite, Ashe. Ain Soft or the infinite light, Ashe. The monad, Ashe. Adam Catman, Atikyamit, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days. The primordial Christ, Ashe. Arikamp, the hidden face, Ashe. That's the supernal universe manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, cosmic Christ, Ashe. The great abyss of Gnosis, the crown of Zeramp, and the small face, the indwelling Christ, Ashe. Berea, form, creation, and paradise, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical archangels and demons within us, Ashe. Yetzirah, formation, manifesting in us as our holy orders of dark angels and demons within us, Ashe. Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, the universe of action, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical earthly kingdom, Ashe. Yeshida, the holy, divine, infinite, magical spark, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical will, Ashe. Heya, the holy, divine, infinite, magical life force manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical desire, Ashe. Neshama, our holy, divine, infinite, magical heavenly soul manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical heavenly thoughts, Ashe. Ruach, our holy, divine, infinite, magical soul manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical words spoken through us, Ashe. Nephish, our holy, divine, infinite, magical earthly soul and spirit manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Ashe. Cather, the crown, the supernal crown. Ashe. Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father. Ashe. Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother. Ashe. Dath, the great, no, Dath, the great abyss of gnosis. Ashe. Ased, mercy, Ashe. Gavur, judgment, Ashe. Tiferet, beauty, Ashe. Netzik, victory, Ashe. Ha, glory, Ashe. Yasad, foundation, Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom, Ashe. The power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite endless, limitless, and life, in which the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that has been and becoming realized into realization, actualization, of form as we are now willing commanded to be. Ashe.
That's right.
And last but not least, the nine elements of the dragon: earth, Ashe; air, Ashe; water, Ashe; spirit, Ashe; darkness, Ashe; light, Ashe; the power of the vortex, Ashe; fire, Ashe; chaos, Ashe. The nine elements of the dragon.
What is the dragon symbolic of?
Well, it can be symbolic of a lot of things. I mean, mainly the Kundalini, the serpentine energy. It can symbolizes the um, well, the Great Mother. That's one of them. Tiamat, Leviathan.
Have you ever heard of the phoenix dragon?
Yeah, you told me about that. The Moors.
Well, no, the Moors that was historically a tribute to a group of Moors. Like they have the dragon Moors and they have the phoenix Moors. This is a whole nother. Uh,
Oh,
that
okay,
was all
Phoenix.
in Europe, but I was thinking of a combination monster or combination chaotic energy, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like a dragon and a phoenix together. I'm trying to develop that image.
Well, it'd be a dragon bird, a dragon phoenix.
A dragon phoenix, exactly. I was saying a phoenix dragon, but either or,
Yeah, dragon phoenix.
right?
Yeah.
I looked it up, and there is no such thing so far. I mean, I looked it up, I googled it, and it was really no such thing.
Well, it is now.
Of course, I just made it up. Yeah,
Yep, from out of the ethers. Yeah,
so
yeah. So, man, lots going on in the world. A whole lot. And they're trying to make profit. They're trying to fulfill prophecy.
right.
Yeah,
All they are doing is trying to perpetuate this false reality because it's collapsing.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
All they doing is trying to they're trying to prop it up because it's always like dead Bernie's and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I want to continue with the Apocrypha of John from the Nag Hammadi Library as we
Okay.
continue on. Some real good shit. Mhm. Okay, so we last time we left off with the four luminaries. We went through all of that. El 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 Elith, Yaldabaoth's world order, and now it's the rulers. Oh, and we covered the fall of Sophia, but now the rulers. Okay, the rulers each created seven powers for themselves, and the powers each created six angels until there were 365 angels. These are the names and the corresponding uh, physi- phys- psyches of the seven names. Okay, first is Athoth, Athoth, and is the face of a sheep. Second, Elios, Elios, face of a donkey. Third, Astaphaos, Astaphaos, face of a hyena. Four, Yael, face of a snake with seven heads. Five, Sabaoth, face of a snake. Six, Adonin, 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 face of an ape. Seven, Sabe, Sabatos, Sabbataos, face of flaming fire. This is the sevenfold nature of the week. Yaldabaoth has many faces, more than all of those, so that he could show whatever face he wanted when he was among the seraphim. He shared his fire with them and lorded it over them because of the glorious power he had from his mother's light. That is why he called himself God and defied the place from which he came. In his thought, he united the seven powers with the authorities that were with him. When he spoke, it was done. He named each of the powers, beginning with the highest. First, goodness, with the first power, Athoth, Athoth. Second, forethought, with the second power, El Eloi, Eloaios, Eloaios. Third, divinity, with the third power, Asta Theos. Fourth, lordship, with the fourth power, Yael. Fifth, kingdom, with the fifth power, Sabaoth. Sixth, jealousy, with the sixth power, Adonai. And seven, understanding, with the seventh power, Sabbateos. Each has a shape in its own realm. They were named after the glory above for the destruction of the powers. Although the names given them by their maker were powerful, the names given them after the glory above would bring about their destruction and loss of power. This is why they have two names. Yaldabaoth organized everything after the pattern of the first aeons that had come into being, so that he might create everything in an incorruptible form. Not that he had seen the incorruptible ones, rather, powers that is in him that he had taken from his mother produced in him the pattern for the world order. When he saw creation surrounding him and the throng of angels around him that had come forth through him, he said to them, I am a jealous God, and there is no other God besides me. But by announcing this, he suggested to the angels with him that there is another God. For if there were no other God, of whom would he be jealous? Sophia repents. Then the mother began to move around. She realized that she was lacking something when the brightness of her light diminished. She grew diminished. She grew dim because her partner had not collaborated with her. I said, Lord, what does it mean that she moved around? The Lord laughed and said, do not suppose it as Moses said above the waters. No. When she recognized the wickedness that had taken place and the robbery her son had committed, she repented. When she became forgetful in the darkness of the ignorance, to she began to be ashamed. She did not dare to return, but she was agitated. This agitation is the moving around. The arrogant one took power from his mother. He was ignorant, for he thought no one existed except his mother alone. When he saw the throne of angels he had created, he exalted himself over them. When the mother realized that the trapping of darkness had come into being imperfectly, she understood that her partner had not collaborated with her. She repented many tears. The whole realm of fullness heard her prayer of repentance and offered praises on her behalf of the invisible virgin spirit, and the spirit consented. When the invisible spirit, the Holy Spirit, consented, the Holy Spirit poured upon her some of the fullness of all, for her partner did not come to her on his own, but he came of fullness so that he might restore what she lacked. He She was taken up not to her own eternal realm, but instead to a position above her son. She was to remain in the ninth heaven until she restored what was lacking in herself. The human appears. A voice called from the exalted heavenly realm. Humans ex, uh, a voice called from the exalted heavenly realm. Humans exist, and the chill of humanity. The first ruler, Yaldabaoth, heard the voice and thought it had come from his mother. He did not realize its source. The holy, perfect mother, father, the completed forethought, the image of the invisible one, being the father of all, through whom everything came into being, the first human. This is the one who showed them and appeared in human shape. The entire realm of the first rulers quaked, and the foundation of the abyss shook. This motherfucker appeared like a badass rock star from the cosmos, shake with a badass guitar bass, just fucking up that whole realm.
Right.
The bottom side of the waters above the material worlds was lit up by his image that had appeared. When all the authorities and the first rulers stared at this appearance, they saw the whole bottom side it it up, and through the light they saw the shape of the image in the water, the creation of Adam. Yaldabaoth said to the authorities with him, "Come, let's create a human being after the image of God and with the likeness to ourselves, so that this human image may give us light." They created through their respective powers according to the features that were given. Each authorities contributed a physical feature corresponding to the figure of the image they had seen. They created a being like the perfect human and said, let's call it Adam, that its name may give us power of light. The powers began to create. That's where I left off at. That's where I stopped.
Is that where you stopped yesterday? I mean, last. I mean, the week before last.
No, this is I'm way
Oh,
way
this is the
ahead of
next. The next. This is
yeah,
the next. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is the next one. Yeah, the last one was the rulers. That's where I stopped. Now the powers began to create. Now we're gonna name this is the tough part, naming all 365 uh, participants in the creation of man. But
This
yeah,
is
that's some big
necessary
shit.
for this is
Hmm.
necessary for gnosis because this is like going back into the reconstruction or deconstruction of that narrative that was placed on us, that spirit that was placed on us.
Hmm.
We have to on the way we relinquish ourselves from that spirit is we genetic we remember it. We remember what happened. We kind of go because that remembrance is attaching yourself to this genuine energy from in opposed to this fake energy.
Yeah, yeah. We returning back to afterthought, pre-gnosis, incorruptibility.
Right. And
Uh,
that was the reason why Sophia did what she did. She didn't have prognosis.
no, yeah, she was just out there. She she had to represent Aquarius or an air sign or something because she was out there.
Well,
And
really, when you really think about it, it's because the main thing that I really took from it is that she did what she did without her counterpart.
yeah, and she did it off of her desire, emotions,
Right. And it
and
kind of correlates to modern sister today.
yeah,
They defiant. They don't want to. They can't be put into order, into a certain order, because she was outside of order, trying to do something while her counterpart, without her male counterpart.
yeah. And so that collapsed everything. That collapsed all the sparks in her realm. Everything collapsed because of that, especially after Yaldabaoth was born, or the
I think
abortion
we
of
connected to her because we're connected to the mother, and she's ultimately connected to the great mother.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So we're
She,
we're the children of we're the children of these primordial mothers.
yeah, yeah. Well, every shit, everything, even Yaldabaoth is the son of the primordial mother. He just don't know
Right. Well, I
it.
think they when they see it's like when you have a certain, it's like you said, why are you jealous and you're supposed to be the one God?
Because he's imbalanced.
Right.
He's
So well, I said that because it was like in his arrogance, in his ego, which is that's exactly what the demiurge is the ego.
hmm
In his ego is blinding him from his another aspect of his thought process, which is forethought.
yeah. But he had the pattern of forethought in him though. He just don't know. He just don't know it,
I think his
or he never
arrogance
seen it.
is his
But
arrogance, his
he has to,
arrogance,
yeah.
his
But
arrogance.
he has the glory of his mother though.
But he
So
look, I swear, like people arrogance will blind them from all of their glory
hmm
because they
yeah,
can't see beyond their um their
they're blind
facade,
open.
their facade.
Yeah, because there's an imbalancement. They grew up through some type of imbalance. Something went wrong in the household as they were growing up, and it caused an
Right.
imbalance.
Oh, thank you, because that is the imbalance. The father supposedly is not in the household, but what it
Yeah,
is let's get it right. Because that's a stereotype on brothers that was not necessarily. I would say it will if it was percentage wise, it will probably be 30-70, right?
Mm-hmm.
30% of dudes that were irresponsible and 70% of dudes that were responsible in those situations. But the key of it is it ain't about that. It's about the years and years of diminishing the authority of a brother, like a brother authority in the so-called black community used to be respected, right? And
Yeah.
I understand why it's not being respected. We're not stepping up to. I tell brothers all the time, we are the rulers of this planet, and not in a. I'm not saying that in a sense of supremacy. That's how
Hierarchy.
that's how they register supremacy. I'm saying we have the responsibility to bring this up to another higher vibration.
Yeah, we have the power to emanate. We're an emanation. We're an emanation of the monad, the most okay, the one source of all. We're an emanation of that, covered over in creation, layered in these different garments that we wear because we fell through the seven planetary spheres, and as we fell
Okay,
through
now
each
let's go
sphere,
into that.
yeah,
Do you see the correlation between my concept of self development and spiritual awakening, spiritual remembrance? All of that correlates uh evolving or going beyond the seven spheres.
yeah, well, it all evolves around remembering
Right.
uh,
Also, look, it's also
cosmic memory.
it's not just memory. It's about, like I said, it's a spiritual, emotional, psychological development stage. Because you can see with every uh every sphere represents an aspect of your development. Where are you at in your development when you get to that sphere?
Hmm. Or where you not,
Or
you'll
were you
find
not?
out.
Yes, exactly. So it all depends on where you at. Where
Mhm.
are you gonna go beyond that sphere?
And that depends on if how honest you were with yourself
True.
on earth.
That's true. That is true right there. What you just
Hmm.
said that's a part of it. Of the development. That's the part of you're lying to yourself, then you're not gonna make it.
No, it will be revealed when you're on that sphere. It's going to be revealed, and then once it's revealed, you're going to be required to go back and do it all over again. In fact, you're going to be convinced yourself that you need to come back and do it all over again.
I think it's more of you're gonna be so emotionally attached to the glamour and the
Hmm.
sensationalism, and you're not going to even see beyond that itself. Like you're too caught up in that. A lot of y'all too caught up in glamour. Y'all too
Not
caught
only
up
that, but
in gluttony. Y'all
they're
too caught up.
they're emotionally caught up too.
That's the point. That's my point.
Hmm.
The development that I was talking about that would allow you this exercise that you need to practice, these rituals you need to engage in, that will allow you to go beyond these seven spheres. It is that it is this dojo. We are in the dojo, bro.
Yeah, it's and the ritual is
We in the
peeling
dojo.
off each garment. It's
Right,
peeling off the
right. Because
garment.
that's exactly what Kung Fu teaches. It doesn't teach physical fighting. Kung Fu is not physical fighting. Kung Fu
Okay.
is a philosophy,
Mm-hmm.
right? See,
Uh-huh.
once you get into the philosophy and it's a no. It end up being a gnosis, right? When you transcend humanity, you transcend physical reality, you transcend all of that, and is art. Look, people could weaponize it into a fighting art, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're missing the point because all of this is an illusion. That fight didn't happen.
Yeah.
It really didn't happen. It's just another part of a fragmentation of a fragmentation of a frag. You're continuing to fragment the whole. You basically you're pushing yourself back in your development.
But that's because your heart is heavier than
True,
the bone.
exactly. You're pushing yourself back into development because you still keep engaging in the illusion with your heart attached.
As if it was real.
Yes,
And as if who you were in that illusion is real.
right.
Without
That's why I was telling
being
my son we're creating realities. It's not the other where we're subjects to the creation, right?
Mhm.
We're not subject to the creation necessarily. There are aspects of our energy that's down here in the creation too, but we're omnipresent. We're not just in the creation. We're operating outside of the creation too. The observer and the observed, right? And it just happened to be the observer experience or the observer um is the observer experiment that shows through understanding of quantum physics that whatever we pay attention to collapse into what we call reality, right?
well,
Whatever you pay
yeah.
attention to. And what I mean by pay attention to is whatever you attach yourself to emotionally and
Mhm.
psychologically.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to. You basically. That's why I love that movie, Candyman.
Hmm.
Man, that movie was so dope. Watch that movie, y'all, because they basically told you everything that we're explaining it from a Gnostic standpoint. Candyman was an emanation that they created, and it was actually something. And this is always happening. We're constantly doing this. We're
Yeah.
creating these
Co-
emanations.
collectively.
Yes, we're creating these false illusionary things that will actually affect you on the physical world.
Well, that's why they wrote the Bible as a
Well,
game book,
okay,
a
the
playbook,
Bible wasn't necessarily written. It was basically decreed, meaning
decreed.
it was decreed, meaning they took all of the ancient sciences and they codified it into a political movement for because in the ancient world it wasn't not they weren't known through their nationality. They were known through being just they're Christians, right? When we understand Christianity is a political movement, Islam is a political movement. So all we're looking at is people incorporating political movement into spiritual principles and practices and incorporated in the ancient world. But now they're doing it so subtly that it's like separation of church and state, right?
Hmm.
No, the state sanctions the church,
Yeah,
and
but see, they're trying to collapse into reality the version of prophecy they they want. Each
right,
one of them. That professor, the Asian guy, he broke it all down, man. He broke down the Judeo Christian, the Islamic, the uh,
All of them are operations of the demiurge.
Yeah, they are all operation of the demiurge. And then he did a breakdown of the esoteric aspect of it, starting with the monad, the eons, emanations, and then the fall of Sophia and the creation of the demiurge. And then, based on what the demiurge was in Gnosticism, he was able to use that to validate why certain things in the Bible that don't make sense are the way they are, because that's the demiurge. That's a monster. Only a monster would behave that way. So the God of the Old Testament is definitely Yaldabaoth, who has many faces.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's the God of many gods on this planet. He's many cultures, all the cultures who have their exoteric version of a monotheistic creator of the universe and humanity. It's a version of Yaldabaoth. It's
Yeah.
one of its faces, or one of the rulers.
Right, but the key is, as divine sparks, we have the connection to the monad, so all of that we can see through.
Yeah, we can see
We can
through it.
see through all of that.
Yeah.
Right, all of the illusions we can see through, as layered that they are, because they're layered on top of layers on top of layers. This is why when they do archaeology, they're seeing that there are cities on top of cities.
Mm-hmm.
And then the further they go down, they're like, damn, it's another city down here.
Yeah.
Wow. They like, God damn, like, and it's like we're looking at we're our Western worldview is linear as hell. There is no circular thinking because it is it is for them on the advanced levels of their society. It is right. Like, for example, I live down the street from USC.
Yeah.
They have classes teaching the stuff we talking right now. They got classes they can't get to the level that we're on because they don't have that melanin that melanin to, but they do have melanated teachers over there being able to get to those levels though. But they have those classes are called electives.
Yeah.
Electives are classes that you got to ask for it because
Yep.
they have the class available, but if they don't got enough students asking for it, they just put it in dormancy.
Yeah, it's not an actual part of the regular curriculum.
No,
It's
of course
outside
not.
of that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to realize the USC basically is set up Masonically for sure.
Yeah, what isn't here? All those schools are charters, or Masonic charters.
It starts off on 33rd Street to give you a clue.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
33rd Street is Jefferson. Wait a minute, is that Jefferson or? Yeah, that is Jefferson.
Yeah, 33rd Street would be Jefferson.
Right. And then down the street from there, right, is the Theosophical Center.
And then plus you have the Shriners.
The Shriner on the same street.
Yeah. The Shrine.
See, they're aligning. See, they oh my God, they are so deep, but their alignments are off based on they don't have, like I said, melanin itself will throw their alignments off, or they're trying to align, they're trying to do what they call feng shui, right? But on a geographical level, right? Meaning they're trying to direct the energy.
Yeah.
In a certain flow.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of geometrical surveying and things like that. That even goes all the way back to what we talking about when we talking about the Moors. This right here, we looking at right here. This picture right here.
Mm-hmm.
surveying the land, and how we're deeming that map to be the actual map. we look at that. Oh, that's America. That's the United States of America. No, that's a political image.
Yeah.
It's a political image that works in the favor of those occupying the territories, right? And we got to understand the dynamic internationally on. That's why we at each other's throat now on how did the colonizers even get to even be on the land and everything. There was stipulations on them. There was rule to them being on the land. All that shit. We put hella stipulations and rules on them being over here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got treaties, but we're not operating as the sovereigns who actually put that on them. We're not we're
Well,
not we're not we're not we're not we're not behaving like the sovereigns that put that on them. So they're walking around here. Oh, they don't know. They don't know they're the sovereigns.
they obviously something happened. They must have did some type of guerrilla warfare, some type of warfare on us.
No, it's been
They
no.
did.
That's beside the point. They're constantly at war with us. The act of misleading us in the concentration camps, or what you call the indoctrination
Plantations.
camp. Indoctrinate
Yeah.
the public school system is continuation of European colonization on Moorish ancestral land.
Yeah. Well,
Because it's psychological war now. It's very much psychological war. Constantly to this day. Back then it was the Gully Wars, the Seminole Wars. Y'all gotta study the Seminole Wars, the Gully Wars. We didn't just bow down and let these colonizers just start systematically taking land and start sanctioning the slave system on our land,
it made
right?
the slave system very unprofitable.
Huh?
The Gullens made the slave trade very unprofitable. They made the slave business unprofitable because,
Exactly.
yeah, because of the terrorist warfare or the guerrilla warfare against the plantations and plantation owners. They were reaping pure havoc, pure
The,
hell.
the colonizers were the terrorists, bro. They on our
Yeah,
land. Like we
they
just
were
fight for our land,
terrifying.
just like they would do. They don't really have no land. Let's go deeper than that. But they don't really have a land that they can claim as theirs. So that's why they appropriate all. This is why they go around appropriating land like they do. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, the
let's
same thing's happening in the Middle East with Israel or the Israelis.
right. They doing the same thing they have been doing, appropriating cultures. They've been appropriating cultures. They've been appropriating heritage. They've been appropriating land.
And then they're saying that this is land that God promised them. That definitely don't sound like the monad to me.
It can't be. how the fuck? How the fuck this God that y'all then conjured up got even the authority to make that order? That God don't even have the authority. Fuck out of here.
This is not even his jurisdiction.
He way out of jurisdiction. He way the fuck out of his jurisdiction. He can't even make.
Unless
On a false, colorful
unless he
ass.
declares himself absolute leader of everything, and then if so,
He did.
he
He
better
did
have to
already.
stand.
Look.
Huh?
He did, and it registered. He did already. It registered
Yeah.
through the Pope. The Pope claimed himself as absolute ruler and as a representative of God. That's what
Yeah.
he did to the Intercatera Divina.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Intercatera Divina.
Okay. Through
Right.
the Pope.
But guess what? Guess what? The
What?
recent letters from the Pope indicating that he's collapsing all of the corporations that were associated with the colonization of indigenous people's land. He's collapsing
Okay.
it. We got to. As a matter of fact, next week I'm gonna bring that letter up. Remind me to bring that letter up
I
that
will.
the Pope wrote to Obama,
Okay.
right? Because there's all type of clues that's showing this transition of energy that's happening, this shifting of energy.
Yeah.
We're basically witnessing this whole end of the world, and we wanted to be here to do this. We wanted to be here to do this, bro.
We want. We want.
Because this is like this occurrence happens shit every 100,000 every
But we
100,000.
want. But we want the other worlds that are control the worlds that the rulers are controlled of. We want those worlds collapsing too. We want this shit to
I
collapse from
mean,
the top sphere
if
all the way down.
if we engage in the right trajectory of energy and the right rituals, we
Yeah.
can. It'll be like a domino effect.
Yeah. Because the only way we can be completely free if we collapse all the spheres
No, I
and
agree.
topple all the
I agree.
rulers.
I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
And
Because
until then, shit,
what once the
we ain't
look,
hitting a lick on the stick.
the thing about it is there is there is so much there is so much um people who are caught up in the illusion that is we're chanting the walls to come down and reveal everything for what it is, but they're constantly caught up in it emotionally, would build the walls back up. But the
Yeah.
thing about it is a powerful transition of spirit is happening now. A transition of energy is happening to where your delusions don't matter no more.
Yeah. The
Your
divine spark is
huh?
coming on. The divine spark is
Right
coming
there,
on.
it's basically overriding is overriding the automatons.
Yeah. The true alien invasion is already here.
Woo! That's in the yeah. You're right. That is the alien invasion.
Yeah. You remember the movie World? The worlds, the machines were already here. And they just beamed them down into them, and they just came. They emerged from out of the ground. That symbolizes us.
Right. It's something latent in us that the
Yeah,
Eternals too. On the Eternal movies, they talked about that
yeah,
too.
yeah. The
The
alien is
Eternals,
already here. It's just waiting to be activated.
right.
And then once the motherfucker is activated, it emerges and wreak havoc on these spears. Just completely topple all the spears.
But that's the greatness of the potential because it's
Mm-hmm.
pure destruction, pure
Pure
the most purest destruction you can ever see, you can ever witness, you can ever. It's pure destruction.
mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So something new or something that was already there can be
You can see it now.
restored.
You can act.
Yeah,
Oh, you can see through it now. You washed
yeah.
off all the impurities, and you can see the polished reality that was there already.
You can see the first real true day.
Ooh!
Your eyes see
Oh
the first
shit!
real true
That was
sunlight.
deep. That's deep. You heard it for the first real true day. Like we haven't witnessed one. Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Shit,
deep. That's
man.
deep. That's deep. I love that.
Mm.
Yeah, we breaking down the walls, bro. It's already coming. It's collapsing around us.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all collapsing.
collapsing.
It's collapsing on
We're
itself.
collapsing it. We're collapsing it.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
You remember that ritual I was talking about? Collapsing it into a dot and then
Yeah.
collapsing that dot on itself,
Mm.
collapsing that dot on itself, like, and it
It
become like this
implodes.
torque field that is just constantly just collapsing upon itself.
Oh, it
But
implodes. It
it
just,
represents that perfect destruction I'm talking about, though.
yeah, it just it implodes and it just sucks in and just becomes smaller than the atom, and then it converts and expands in all direction, in all points in space and time, wiping all this shit out.
The energy that emits from that doesn't expand because that's the imperfection that's being maintained in a pocket dimension or a pocket dimension, right? Is being maintained there to basically use that energy. It's going to be energy that's going to be used. It's like a fusion generating energy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, a core, a fusion core.
Right.
Yeah, the core generator,
But it has to
the
be in
galactic
perfect
core.
balance. It has to be in perfect balance because it can actually bring a corruption back into the it can bring
Yeah,
we will have
it
to
has to be
maintain it.
done through incorruptibility. Has to be, in order for that to happen, there has to be order between, there has to be a balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine.
True indeed. I agree.
Yeah, they both have to come together in absolute love.
But that's
And
exactly why they're keeping us fighting at each other's throat, where the sisters basically delineating from the brothers, and the brothers is like their stoic ways is like, so well, it is what it is.
yeah, so
Right.
now we're creating this energy that they're able to feed off of,
Right.
and and
They able to come in through that energy right there. They not able to
yeah,
come in if we were solidified in our energy, meaning we were
okay,
complementing each other, and opposed to being at each other's throat, and the energy
yeah,
being repelling to each other.
yeah,
We repelling from each other instead of reflecting each other.
yeah. And so now, and then we're doing all this gross shit, same sex shit.
Right. That's a part of the perversion of that energy, because remember I talked about the whole gender diaspora thing had nothing to do with sexuality. It's an energy, right? Because it was based in these masculine and feminine energies basically coping becoming complementary to each other, to where you operate within that flow, that fluency. Now they're looking at it as, oh, you're confused on whether you want to be a man or a woman. No, this is energy we're registering it wrong. This is energy that's coming in that's is fluent, is so fluent that we because we're going to a higher vibration. It's not going to make a sense to you from that. It's not going to not necessarily make sense, because we want to go away from sense what makes sense, okay?
Well, is it balance?
Huh?
Is it balance? Because in
Yes, it has to be orientated through balance.
well,
It has to
never.
be everything
I
that
mean,
we're
so far, of what I've read in the Apocrypha of John, it don't have two masculine eons and two feminine eons coming together to create a universe. Okay? It
right.
has masculine and feminine energy coming together to create a balanced universe, an eternal balanced universe.
Mm,
They can't communicate. They can't create an eternal universe together.
mm,
Sophia just proved that. When the energy is in balance, you're not going to get an eternal universe. You're going to get something completely the opposite of that. You're going to get some gross version of that, like what we have here now. And because of that, now it becomes easy for all these abnormal or these aberrations to become the norm and acceptable.
Right.
And in the nature, in the creation of this universe, I guess you can say that is a normal thing. But if you compare it to the other eternal universes where there's a balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine together creating, then it's not it's not um, it's not the norm. It wouldn't be the norm. It wouldn't be it. I don't know how it would be. Would that be a part of the eternal universe created from with balance? Or is that only something that can be experienced here in Sophia's universe that's that came through an imbalance?
Mm. The imperfection, right?
Hmm?
So it's like a imperfection. Can you hear me?
Now, you say imperfection.
Yes.
What do you mean?
It's not perfect. It's not uh what you refer to as balanced. It's not balanced. It's imperfection or it's imbalanced. Perfection. I'm equating perfection with balance, basically.
Well, it in a sense, okay, it's perf- perfect a perfected imbalance. You're saying a perfect, or it's in imbalance built off of a perfection.
But what that's why what I said makes sense is to
Mhm.
create to use that imperfection imbalance, right, as fuel for something other than because you can't destroy it. It's
Oh, you
energy.
can. No,
It's
well,
energy.
yeah,
You can't destroy it. You can.
you
How
can
can I?
starve it.
You can
You can starve it
contain
of
it.
life.
You can contain it, right?
Well, yeah, but all universes need life to live, and they all need supernal light. And so, if they're cut off from the supernal light, and then there's no divine sparks left, you take off the divine sparks and cut it off from the the supernal light, then it withers away.
Yeah, yeah. But it never it becomes a more dimmer light, but it's still light.
Yeah, it's still it's like a little an an admiration. It becomes like a, I guess you can say, crude oil or a tar pit or something.
How what do
It
you
becomes
how that correlate?
um, something that's left over and it becomes energy. Like
Okay, from a
like
byproduct of something other,
yeah,
because all oil is a byproduct of carbon, right?
yeah. So this can be some type of conscious byproduct, some type of spiritual byproduct.
Hmm. It's
And then
interesting to think about this, and we can go on for hours.
yep.
Let's get our last words in.
Yeah, well, man. So yeah, y'all the Biff have many faces, and he's playing the world right now. The world's being played. The world's a stage and it's being played. And they crossed the Rubicon, they crossed the line where there's no return. They finally done it. They're at the point of no return. They got to go all the way through with this shit. Everything changes from here. The world we once knew is over, completely over. And what's coming and what lies ahead of us is the greatest mystery there is. And and we're all participants. We all participate. Even the NPCs, they're collapsing something into reality.
Hmm.
They're
Hmm.
they collapse into reality what they collapse. And we're going to be collapsing, we're collapsing into reality what we're collapsing into reality. And we got the melanin, we got the cosmic energy, the
So
dark.
when you say reality, we got to remind them that you're talking about another illusion, but another illusion that's directly connected to the original. Oh, it's not an emission of an emission of an emission. It's like
Yeah, we're having fun in the illusion. Okay, we're
but
bending the
it's an
simulation.
illusion that we created.
Yeah, it is.
We
That
created
we
it.
empower, that we're
This
empowering.
illusion we're engaging in, we did not create this one. We did not
Whether
create
we're
this illusion. Are
if if
we are creating it? We're because creation is a constant thing. It's constantly
yeah,
because like
we weren't the spark that
no,
set this
we
off.
didn't initiate it. We didn't initiate it at
No,
all.
y'all the Biff did that through the light he stole from his mother,
Right. He is the
and
initiator.
he patterned this from the pattern that he had inside of him from the pleroma that he knew
Right.
not of. So he was able to pattern this in an almost incorruptible way. And he has his own luminaries, but remember, they have two names. Even though their first names are after the glory above, but their second names aren't. And because their first names are the same names of the glories above, that ensures their destruction.
All it
Because
does is confirm what I've been saying is that we are some of the most powerful beings in the known and unknown universe because
yeah,
they have to create all of these emanations to get us to use our energies in their favor. They have to use against us all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. But I like the part where it showed when the rulers saw the first real human, true human in its true glory, and as it appeared, but as a in the waters, like in a vortex or something, and it shook their entire realm. It completely shook they shit off the foundation. Like this was a bad motherfucker.
Oh yeah, there are ancestors who already did this shit already, and they working with us. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
already they already went past all the seven spheres, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They sending that energy to. That's why we're able to even
Pass through the.
conceptualize it that
Mhm.
there is something past the seventh sphere. We're able to conceptualize it because some of our ancestors already passed it.
Yeah, which means there's a way out of this trap,
No,
and
I mean,
we can see beyond the trap.
of course, yes, no doubt.
Yeah, we're not just confined only within the trap, and confined only within the trap thinking.
Right. Well, the only
Because
thing that actually traps you is when you don't know it's a trap. When you start
yeah,
forgetting it's a trap, that's when it traps you.
yeah, and you can know it's a trap and forget that it's a trap at the same
It's
time.
easy to. It's easy to. This is the whole basis of the whole experience is to get you caught up in the trap.
Yeah, you can know it's a trap,
Look, they
but
have been
too
multiple.
lazy.
Look, there have been multiple movies. Right at the end, they figured it out. Oh, it's all a bullshit, right?
Uh-huh.
The majority of the characters that made it to the end, they decided to go back into the illusion.
They decide to do what?
Go back into the illusion. They
Oh,
decided to forget that they knew that this is an illusion, and
mm-hmm.
go back into sensationalism and like what was the purpose? And that's look. It's always look. Whenever you see a movie, and they always talking about humanity survival. That's the demiurge.
Mm-hmm.
Because it ain't about human survival. Well, that's the last thing you should be worried about.
Yeah. So you should be like, oh shit, I'm probably close to getting the fuck out of here. And if
Right.
I'm close to getting the fuck out of here, I'm shit. Let me get myself prepared mentally and spiritually
Right. Exactly. Thank you. Don't
for
don't
what I
don't
got to
start don't
face
start
ahead.
look, don't start perpetuating collapsing this reality back in because that's all we're looking at right now is people who are so emotionally attached to this shit. That's why there is a split between these worlds right now. And is a variant world that was created because people are so stubbornly sticking to this bullshit that it had to split off from those who are potentially moving, ascending out of this shit and remembering.
Yeah. See,
So,
you got the manifestors, the ones who are trying to manifest, keep on manifesting shit into this reality, keeping it going. And
right,
now you have the unmanifestors, the
right,
ones
right.
who are who are
Doing the
unmanifesting this.
opposite, right?
Yeah,
It ain't about the future of humanity.
it's about unmanifesting from out of humanity and back into the real, true humanity, the super humanity.
Well, it wouldn't be humanity anymore.
Well,
We
it
couldn't we
is.
couldn't say we couldn't call it humanity anymore if it's going beyond. It's not humanity anymore. It's something other than it's the divine spark. It's the divine spark in its omnipresent state or omnipresent understanding of remembrance.
Yeah, in pure spirit. I mean, damn. Um, the monad is not a physical.
Oh no, hell
Although
no.
it can be, I mean, I guess you can't say that because then that's limiting.
See, but that's
But
the thing. That's the thing. Is there anything in the universe that's physical that we are not collapsing into this matrix that we're creating? Other than that, it is exactly what quantum physics say there is waves.
mhm,
It's no physical reality at all.
no,
What
and
we're
it's about
calling
us.
physical reality is nothing more than us engaging in the attention of these energies and paying attention to something and collapsing it into what is seemingly physical, but it's only sensational perception.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Well,
that's another clue to transcending the illusion in your own development.
well, actually, it's about dissolving from out of the illusion, dissolving in
That's
back
how you do
into
it. I just explained how you
the
dissolve it.
yeah,
You dissolve
yeah,
it by recognizing that this is nothing but sensory perception that I'm engaging in. This is like a high level ass next dimensional technology, right? That's is because it's basically very sensitive, right?
mm,
As soon as you in a human body, it can be tempting to not see the illusion now.
yeah, yeah. It it could be that we were in the pleroma at the movies.
In the plurona, after what did you say? That's crazy. You can,
And it's a interactive movie.
right.
Yeah.
But no, I keep getting these notions of the purpose of humanity, and it's like I'll be like, it be deep. The reason why, because this imperfection thing is
Mhm.
very deep. It's a good thing. It's like a good, and the people will call it bad. Call it good when you transcend your human conscious. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with none of that.
No, it's something that they say wasn't supposed to be, but it was. It came anyway, and it's different
Was
from
it
all the
necessary
other
though?
ones.
Was it
Hmm?
necessary? Was it like we can look? Look, I'm gonna say it like this. Let me say it like this, because I'm gonna say it from the perspective of understanding, from an omnipresent understanding.
Hmm.
It was necessary because of the state of the energy at the time. Whatever the state the energy is in,
Hmm.
it's going to create certain mechanisms to either purify the energy or spiral it down to basically become filtered to a whole nother world, and that's what they've done. That's what they're doing. They're filtering that energy from a divine world to down here.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the energy that they filter down from the divine world into this world is sent here to do, I guess, to
Perpetuating.
cause something, some type of um, explosion or some type of uh, emergence to occur within this
but that
creation.
but you know what, that's exactly right. The energy that they're is like Poseidon trying to take from the gods, right? Poseidon, you try to take that energy from the god, right?
Hmm.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, he basically used that energy and he was consumed by the energy, wasn't he?
I don't understand this mythology. What's this?
Oh, that was Greek. It's Greek mythology.
Oh,
If
okay.
I'm not mistaken, it was consumed by the energy or something like that, right?
Well, we were consumed by this energy, and I guess we had to be. We had to experience separation
Right, to
because
experience yeah, it was a seeming experience, but because it never really happened. But it's like an
the
aspect of ourself had to come here to have this
experience.
experience, have this experience.
yeah, experience of separation so we can become conscious. We can be so the eternal can be
No,
conscious
we
of
weren't
itself.
conscious before then. You said we had to
Unconscious
become conscious.
unity, unconscious unity. Remember we came from
Unconscious
spirit.
unity.
Yeah,
Unconscious unity. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then it fell into
It was
separation.
unconscious unity. It was like what they talk about when they talk about dark consciousness.
Hmm. Yeah, so it had to become
Because
conscious.
remember when he was talking about dark consciousness, he said it's not thinking, it's not thought, it's not thought.
Yeah,
It's beyond thought. It's something beyond thought.
yeah, the monad is beyond thought. It doesn't think. It emanates. So I mean, thinking, speak, those things
As a
are
matter of
limited.
fact, when the monad was conceptualized, it basically did separate itself. Once it start conceptualizing itself, it kind of created that emanation, that original emanation.
Yeah, each emanations that came from it didn't take anything from it. It's able to give infinitely without losing anything from itself.
Oh, of course. That's exactly what we're digging into when we're talking about this free
Zero,
energy,
zero energy.
this abundantness, right?
Yeah,
Because it's self-generating and it's self repairing itself. That's what we were talking about the other day.
it's
It,
an
it
emanating energy.
right,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's an emanating. It just continue to emanate and emanate and emanate on and on and on and on and on. 0 point. It just
right. That's kind of the nature of chaos too, though,
mhm.
because chaos is just this unbridled energy that can't be contained, and it basically represents potentiality on a
But can it be
cosmic level. It
collapsed
represents,
into?
because that's why it's basically the unknown is based in the potentiality, because it's like something could be something, right? But if it can't be it unless the potential was there for it to be it. The potential itself is the chaos.
Yeah, potential because anything is possible.
Right.
Yeah.
But possible and potential potential means is a mathematical term, right? Possibility is a grammatic, I guess. I guess that's basically, well, it can be mathematical too, possible, but uh, potential is just basically the capabilities that are there. That's there. It's capable of happening. It just haven't happened yet.
Until it happens, and that's what this situation we're in is all about.
Yes, that endless, unbridled potential is there,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
And
Mhm.
the archons are trying their hardest to take advantage of that potential, and they can't because it's beyond their jurisdiction. So
Yeah,
they can only precariously try to do it through a divine spark,
and entrapping it
right?
in an architect where it seems like there's no way out for it except for within that architect. The hexagon, you know, on top of Saturn, there's the hexagon. And Saturn is the planet that we go through, the first one. And it represents limitation.
Right. That's
Yeah,
the boundaries of
yeah,
boundaries. Right.
yeah. That's where they start stripping away our shit and putting on some fake shit.
I think
Cutting off
that's one
our
of the
real shit.
guards, though. I think that's one of the guards you got to take
Hmm?
off, because there is really no boundaries, right? Except
Uh-huh.
the fact it's like you are cordial when you going from realm to realm. You're cordial. You like, I'm not just about to just step on toes in your jurisdiction, but you gotta represent. You gotta recognize my supreme authority to move about your jurisdiction as I see fit.
Yeah. Higher law always overrides lower law. Hmm.
Right. But like I said, it's cordial. You don't do it in in a aggressive way. You do it.
No.
I'm talking about speaking on the energy. It's not speaking physically. You don't do it in an aggressive way. You do it diplomatically.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
They can't stop nothing. Like with
Hmm.
Trump, it basically trumps your authority. You can't do nothing. So it wouldn't be much to us to just be courteous and be like it. And that's exactly what I was taught when I was doing the more when I began in it. Now I'm way more advanced. Not to even pat my back, but when I first started, they were talking about these letters, these correspondence are just cordial, and it's not you asking for permission or you asking for authority. It's just being cordial toward them. Or what was the other word I use?
Be a diplomat.
Diplomatic. You're being diplomatic, and it's like you're basically coming to them from the perspective of admiralty. We're basically continuing the admiralty that we had originally, that was there originally, because once we go to the world court and address the violations,
Hmm.
it wouldn't be based on because Negro, Black, and Colors got violated.
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
it will be because y'all violating the treaties y'all had with the Moors.
Yeah. Yeah. And we reestablish ourselves back as the Moors as a political body.
Right. I mean it's like a pre-existing state. We're we're bringing it back out of hibernation. It's a
Yeah.
pre-existing state. We're bringing it out of hibernation, and it's correlating with everything we talking about with the gnosis and everything. It's like we're
Yeah.
not doing nothing new here.
No, we're
We're
not
not
doing that.
creating
We're
anything.
returning back.
We're not
Yeah.
creating anything, basically.
We're returning back to something that's already
Like
been
you said it
established.
too. You said it too. We didn't create nothing. We're just breaking down all the illusion to see the original creation that was already there.
Yeah, that's all we have to do. Unstripping,
Right,
stripping off the layers,
right.
the the layers of misconception.
Damn. And that's exactly what's happening right now in this Moorish movement. This right here, that these ideas that we're expanding, is becoming more prevalent in the movement, but
Mhm.
slowly but surely. You can see how, because it's slowly but surely, how the ones who see the threat, right? Because even
Yeah,
melanated ones amongst us are have been taking advantage of our people too. So you can see how the stuff that Abdullah now I'm seeing, because mind you, I have an insight in the Moorish movement because I've been following it and I've been in this shit for years, and I've been following
mhm,
the actual the actual intellects, higher intellects in this movement.
yeah,
And because of that, I'm hearing the language now. The language, and I'm not saying that they're copying necessarily Abdullah and Shem. I'm just saying that Abdullah and Shem shifted the paradigm to where now it's the 12 monkey effect.
yeah, yeah. They're starting the collective subconscious mind. They're picking
Yes,
up the same
yes,
thing that they
yes,
picked up,
yes, yes,
and it's being what Shem and Abdullah, they're transmitters, and they're transmitters.
yeah. They're beacons of that information, of that night, of that light,
Yeah, they're transmitting it on
that
the
monad
physical
light.
level, and it's being transmitted on an astral level.
Yes, yes.
And in the
They talked
astral
about
level,
that too. I mean, you gotta go. If you haven't been studying the USB, bro, man, you missing out. Because they go into our ancient understanding is all based in everything we're saying about the monad, and the ancestors knew about this shit. They had mythos
yeah.
describing this whole everything.
Well, this is where we got it from.
Right,
We got it from them,
right,
which is us.
right.
We left it for us now.
That's that. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Because that how you phrased it is the new, not the new, but this remembrance of under, because this is a ritual. We're
Yeah.
we're we're going restoring our original state
Mm-hmm.
that was, it's still pre-existing. It's still
Yeah.
pre-existing right now. Like, it just, we're not in the jurisdiction, because when we're talking about jurisdiction, right, you got to realize that's a that's a that word jurisdiction is a word based in it's a mental word. It's a mental word. So when you're saying jurisdiction, you're not talking about a particular area,
No,
right?
you're
You're
talking about
talking
a
about a
particular
mental
realm.
state. You're talking about a mental state,
Yeah, a realm, or
a
yeah,
realm.
mental
Yes,
state, a
right,
realm, a
right,
domain.
yes, right,
Okay, because Yaldabaoth has his jurisdiction. Each ruler has their jurisdiction, and humanity has its hierarchies of jurisdictions. Each hierarchy has a certain jurisdiction, but the hierarchies, that's all arcanic. But I guess we pretty much hit the target tonight. What do you think?
Oh yeah, we can end it, bro. I'm out of here.
Okay, all right, man. Next